Moving over to the business side, I thought it would be just sort of humorous to show you this email that I got from LinkedIn literally about 5 or 6 days ago. It was funny timing because I was in the midst of planning this webinar, and here LinkedIn was saying, hey, why don't you come and beef up Pivot Group's company page, and we'll help you, give you some tools to do that. So I just thought that was interesting, a funny coincidence that happened to come right at the time that I was working on this webinar. But you can see that LinkedIn really is trying to get companies to come and create their company pages. So let me talk a little bit about how you do that. If you go, there's a link within the main sort of LinkedIn page once you get into LinkedIn that says companies, and if you click on that page, you'll see this link that says add a company. So if your company is not yet on LinkedIn, then you can go ahead and add that company there. However, you may be surprised it very well may be that your company is already on LinkedIn. That wouldn't be because somebody has gone and set up an official page for it. All it would take is somebody having already said on their work experience or in their individual profile, something like that, somebody having already said that they work at your company, that would go ahead and create a page for it. And so that actually is what happened with me, and you can see here that once I realized that somebody had already added Pivot Group, I came to my page and I found that there was, in fact, when I looked at the Pivot Group page, there was this edit button up in the top right corner that you can see here. Now that edit button, if you can't see it, if your company has been set up and LinkedIn is telling you that your company has already been set up, but you can't see that edit button, what you have to do is add an email address to your LinkedIn profile that has your company's URL in it. So for instance, I would only be able to see that edit button if I had my ian@askpivot.com address loaded into and verified in my LinkedIn profile. And that's how I then am able to get this edit button, because the company Pivot Group on LinkedIn is associated with that URL, askpivot.com. And so that's the way that you get to see that edit button. And then you can see that company pages can be made to look somewhat similar to individual profiles. You can add in the company logo and a description of what the company does. Now you can see that right below that description, it starts talking about who's in the company, and it lists. For me, it lists me first because I'm looking at it, of course. But it's going to list people who have mentioned a connection with your company, and then you can see the tabs here that starts off with the overview, which is sort of an informational tab. Then there are tabs for careers, services, and analytics, and I'll talk about each one of those as we go here. I did mention about LinkedIn's job postings, and so LinkedIn offers you the ability to go ahead and create job postings. This is one of the things within LinkedIn that actually does cost money for companies to do. You can see here a sort of sample job description that I set up here. Just sort of a pretend job description. Again, this is something that pays, or that you pay for, but with LinkedIn's relatively new jobs you may be interested in feature for individuals, you can see why posting jobs on LinkedIn, particularly because it's known to be a networking site and a site good for people who are looking for work, you can see that it really might be worth your time to go ahead and post a job, particularly something for your human resources people to take a look at. You can do product listings on LinkedIn. So again, I made a sample product listing for Pivot, for our Pivot Posts service. You can put in a description of it, add in some of the key features of the service, the price, and that sort of thing. You can request recommendations from some of your contacts for that specific service. So people can say, oh, Pivot Posts is the best thing since sliced bread, and that sort of thing. And that just helps you to let people know a little bit about what it is that your company does. I would still, even though you're adding in products and services here, I would still say LinkedIn is primarily for networking more than sales, but I'll get into that a little bit more as we go on here. LinkedIn also offers analytics for companies. Now, this is not something that would be visible to everyone in the everyone who views your page, but it would be available to people from your company. I should have mentioned also that when you first set up a LinkedIn company page, really anybody who has come to the page from your company is able to edit it. Until somebody, there is an option to let only certain people administer the company page, and you can determine who those people are. So I suppose it's sort of a first person who gets there and says that they're the administrator gets to do it. But that is something that you can set if you don't want everybody in your company to be able to edit it. You can set it up so it's just one person or just a few people. Anyway, these are the analytics that you can see as sort of a back end for the company page that only people within the company would be able to see in terms of things like page views, unique visitors. It has some other analytics as well. Again, following in Facebook's trend of letting you see exactly the sort of action that your page is getting. Helpful sort of page just in terms of monitoring your traffic. There are also LinkedIn ads, which are very similar to Facebook ads. And you can see sort of the example ad here. The ads can either go to a LinkedIn page or they can go to an external URL. However, and I would say that this is the aspect of LinkedIn where you're starting to get into sales. I mean, you could very well have ads for your company that don't at all, have anything to do with networking. It could be for our telco customers out there. It could be, here's our new bundle that's coming up. Here's our new deal, and people would be able to, see that and then go to your website to learn more about it. However, it could also be, Pivot Group is hiring right now, and then that ends up being a link to the Pivot LinkedIn page if we wanted to do it that way. So, again, possibilities very similar to Facebook ads in terms of how they work and that sort of thing, but really the one place where LinkedIn does start to get into some sales. So that's sort of the general overview. Oh, sorry, my PowerPoint is floppy there. Let me just talk about a few takeaways. You can see number 5 there. It's sort of a little hint of what's to come. Very exciting. First of all, LinkedIn pages are fairly easy to maintain. This is one of the beautiful things about LinkedIn versus something like Facebook or Twitter. With Facebook or Twitter, you are really expected to be doing regular posts. With LinkedIn, although for individuals there is the ability to post things like statuses and that sort of thing, it's really not something that is expected in the same way it is on Facebook or Twitter. What you really want to do on LinkedIn is make sure, for individuals, make sure that your work history and that sort of thing and what you're looking for is current. For companies, you want to make sure that your company information is current in terms of your offerings and that sort of thing as well. But once you've done that, again, it's fairly easy to maintain because those are the sorts of things that don't change that often. So it's just a matter of remembering when there is some sort of big change, whether individually or with the company, that gets reflected on your LinkedIn page. But it's not something that you're going to be needing to monitor every day or every week or anything like that. I would say you should ask your colleagues or your customers to recommend you and your company on LinkedIn. This could be something even where you do a promotion for people, maybe asking them to go ahead and recommend you on LinkedIn. You can ask your business colleagues to recommend you as well. It's something that is definitely good for a company to have recommendations from people in case other potential customers or clients are coming to your company page to see what other people are saying about you. So it's definitely worth asking for recommendations, particularly from people who you know are going to recommend you well. And there is the ability, I should say, in a way that there's not necessarily so much with a service like Yelp. With a Yelp review, you can't say, oh, I don't want that person to have said that about me. so I'm going to take it off. But with a LinkedIn recommendation, you do actually get to approve the recommendation before it's posted to your LinkedIn page. So if you ask somebody to recommend you and maybe they don't say the nicest things for some reason, then you don't have to approve that recommendation. Again, the primary benefit for LinkedIn is networking and not sales as much. With LinkedIn ads, there is some sales opportunities. There is a little bit of that in terms of the listing of products and services on your LinkedIn company page. But it's really not going to be a driver of sales necessarily in the same way that something like Facebook could be, or Yelp or something like that. Really, the main reason you want to be on LinkedIn is because it's a place to help people find and learn more about your business and that sort of thing. So that's just something to be aware of in terms of the purpose and how you use LinkedIn and what it's really for. And then number 4, understanding followers versus connections. When people are connected to your company, it's called followers. You'll see that your company will have 56 followers, and that means that there are 56 people who basically, that's like clicking on the like button on a Facebook page. That's different than a connection. The people who are connected to your company are really people who work for your company or who have worked for your company or have listed in their work history in some way. And then individual connections are more like friends on Facebook. So just know that terminology and know the difference between the two of them in terms of if you want to attract customers and potential customers to your LinkedIn page, what you're really looking for is followers, not so much connections. And then 5 that was there for a while and is now back. Engaging personalities who are linked to your company, like your employees, your CEO, maybe people like that, they can really help your image with a good LinkedIn page. Because a unique thing about LinkedIn in a way that's not true about Facebook. On a Facebook page, a company page, you really don't see profiles of the people who work for the company. But on a LinkedIn company page, you're going to see some of the employees who are connected with that company, and then you can connect off to those employees' individual pages as well. So, if your CEO is going to be on LinkedIn, and they should be, and they're connected to your company page, which they should be, it helps if they have a good-looking LinkedIn page as well, because, again, in a way that's not necessarily true on Facebook, your employees and people connected to your company on LinkedIn are going to sort of help add to the public face of your company within LinkedIn. So that's just an interesting difference to note, is that the individual profiles really are connected in some ways to the company profiles within LinkedIn. So that's all I have for today. Where there's one question here that I see. It says, if our company posts a job or an ad, can it only be shown to people in our area or city like Facebook ads? I believe the answer to that is yes. It is very similar to Facebook ads. It can be honed down by geographical location. Now, I guess I really think that about the ads. I don't actually necessarily know that that's true for posting jobs. My guess would be that if you're posting a job, you may just be, there may be I actually don't know. There may be an option for nationwide searches versus local searches, but my hunch would be that it's not fully targetable in the way that their ads are, like Facebook. So anyway, I'll look into that a little bit more and let you all know. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for joining us on today's webinar. As always, the webinar slides are going to be available on our Facebook page in just a little while here, and the videos will be there as well within a few days. You can see the address for our Facebook page here. I'm still working on the focus topic for our next Straight Talk on Social Media webinar, but that will be 2 weeks from now, Friday, June 3rd at 11 o'clock Pacific time as usual. The next Straight Talk on Telco Marketing with Dave Neustraten is next week, Wednesday the 25th, also at 11 Pacific time. You can see my email address there if you have any questions for me. Otherwise, I think that's it for today. Thank you. Remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.